I wear what I wear. I dress the way I dress because it's what's most comfortable for me, and I just like being comfortable in my own clothes, and yeah, just wearing what feels comfortable and also looks good. You don't want to look not good. I think the way magazines show you to dress is much less covered and much like more sexy than what I would rather wear. Like, yeah, it's nice to feel sexy sometimes and like look good, but it isn't as nice to like go out looking like that. I don't like the way that people look at me when I'm dressed like that. Like, it's not actually a very nice feeling to be like walking around in the street feeling like people are looking at you because of what you're wearing. I would rather go out in like baggy trousers and a baggy jumper rather than having like guys or whatever stare. I think we're expected to look sexy for guys, which is stupid, and like magazines is mostly for like guys and for the way guys see you, and I don't like the fact that you're kind of meant to dress sexy for them. So I'm a Muslim and my mother is very religious, and obviously in the like religion you're meant to like dress very minimalistic and not show any like body or whatever. So when I go out in like even in just a vest, or if like my breasts are a bit out or my top is a bit cropped, like obviously my mum would be really like not happy with it. So my mum will tell me sometimes to not go out the way I'm dressed, and like sometimes I'll, you know, change, but then I'd go out and just like take it off again because you kind of still want to look good. But yeah, I think in every religion it's different because some parents are cool with it, some parents aren't. My parents don't like me going out like that, which is fair enough because they don't like people obviously looking at me in a way that they don't want me to be seen. But I think in this day and age it's quite hard not to like wear the clothes that you're kind of expected to wear, which is like, you know, tight clothes, boobs out, bum out, whatever. So it's kind of hard when you're going out with like your friends and if everyone's dressed kind of... When I was younger I cared way more than I care now. Like now I honestly don't care about what I wear. I'll just wear whatever makes me feel comfortable to go out, especially, which is less body showing because I don't like it anymore. I don't like the way I'm looked at. At that time I was like, yeah, I look good, I look sexy, I'm gonna get like attention, you know, everyone wants a bit of attention sometimes. Especially when you're younger and in your teenage years, you want people to be attracted to you, you know, you like looking good, it's nice. It's a nice feeling to look good, and wearing those kind of clothes, wearing minimal, like the least amount of clothes possible is what's now seen as sexy and good, which isn't, I don't think, now. But it's not how it should be, because obviously that's the way you looked isn't what matters. What matters is the way you are and your personality, rather than what you wear.
Well, I really enjoy wearing bright colors and yeah, like colorful clothes. And I also, it's a thing that I have on my mind when I go to shopping, because I really like colorful and contrast, colors combinations and all this stuff, because I think it says a lot of you at the same time, because it shows that you are creative and you don't want to follow the prototype of wearing normal, classical and don't be seen. I'm not saying that I want to be seen for wearing colorful clothes, but I just feel comfortable and I like the contrast of the colors. When I wear fancy, I know that like for my boyfriend it can look like I'm trying to wear that good because probably I want to flirt with someone. It's like a thing that I know that it can be on his mind, and he not always, but he normally says like, oh, you look like really cute. I'm like, oh, what does it mean? It's like, are you worried about that I'm gonna try to flirt with someone? Because I'm wearing cute because I want to wear cute, not for anybody else, just for me, because I feel that I want to wear cute, and that's it. Yeah, I absolutely feel this pressure, but not like consciously. I think it, like, you don't, oh, that's difficult. Like, you feel it, but you don't feel it at the same time. I mean, you know that it's there, all the inspiration that you look at the magazines or people that you really like, how are they wearing? But also I think that you have to take all this stuff and taking it to your own person of how do you really want to wear and to show your identity as a person, as an artist, as a designer or whatever. So yeah, I can feel this influence, but also if you know how to manage it and if you know where to put the step, like the line, then it's fine because you don't get that into it. I think time to explore, because I think that on your life you have like different like seasons, like different episodes. For example, now I'm living in London, but 1 year ago I was living in Barcelona, and I really feel this difference about my clothes. About when I open my wardrobe and I see that there are a lot of clothes that I wouldn't wear them in Barcelona. But I wouldn't feel the same. Here I feel like more freedom, and that anybody's gonna judge me of how am I wearing, and also the fact that yeah, I just wear artsy, I wear colorful because I enjoy that. And probably in Barcelona, before going down on the street, I would think it twice. In Barcelona, I felt that when I came back from London, everybody was expecting me to see like a different Maria, because she's been living in a different space. She's been starting new adventures. So when I came back to Barcelona, and I remember that I was wearing like really like high waist trousers and really like oversized clothes, and everybody was telling me like, "Oh, new Maria! Like she came from London. You can see it, artsy Maria." And I was like, "Oh, like, can you ask me if I feel comfortable with those clothes? Like how this change has impacted me, not only for my clothes, also with my personal opinion and my yeah."
I don't know, I have a lot of like really mismatched, colorful, patterned items in my closet because that's just what makes me happy. I don't pay so much attention to matching stuff. I'm just like, ooh, purple is the color that I'm gonna wear on my bottom half today, and I'm gonna do some wild floral pattern on the top half. I don't know, just random. Because I'm non-binary, I have a lot of let's say, sort of anxiety, insecurities about dressing in a way that's considered feminine. But to be honest, the way that male fashion usually is just so incredibly boring, and I hate it. And so it's kind of a struggle for me to dress in a way that makes me happy, like in bright colors and in crazy patterns, but also in a way that is not necessarily considered feminine, because I don't want people to perceive me as a female. If I'm going out clubbing, I will dress up in something that's very like the traditional version of feminine sexiness, like leather skirt or something like that. But in a day-to-day situation, I think what makes me feel most attractive and comfortable with myself is honestly just wearing stuff that's really weird and out there. Stuff that'll grab people's attention and be like, that person dresses like a clown, but they kind of pull it off. Recently, I video called one of my uncles while he was rather drunk, and throughout the entire 20-minute call, like every couple minutes, he was like, "You cut your hair. You cut your hair." If I had hair left, just kept making comments about my new haircut, that is the lack of hair. And it was like funny the first couple of times, and he was saying like, "Oh, if I had any hair left, I wouldn't have gotten rid of all of it." But like after the first couple of times, it gets old. Like, okay, I get it. You're like old. You're not with the times. But like, chill out. It's my hair. I don't care. I feel good. I look good, and I don't know. It's just like, I don't know, it contrasted so much from the experience I had of actually, I'd called my grandma the day before, and she was like, "Wow, that's amazing. I always wished I could cut my hair off when I was young," because she was never actually allowed to. So it's these contrasting experiences of like being surrounded by my really loving and supportive bubble for most of the time, and then kind of being shoved into the real world sometimes, where people will comment on my appearance, or like, for example, sometimes I'll be out and someone will think I'm a boy, which I don't mind, and they'll like call me sir, like especially if I'm dressed in a more masculine fashion. And then as soon as I open my mouth and they hear my very feminine voice, they'll be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, miss. I won't make that a mistake again, miss." And they just like go over themselves to apologize and to like, I don't know. It's kind of a shock to go from one to the other.
What do I think of when I get dressed in the morning? I'm always like about comfort. So like I like baggy clothes. Like if it's tight, I'm not gonna wear it. Like sometimes I wear it, but usually it's just like comfortable clothes that are warm. Warmth and bagginess is what I look for when I get dressed, or fluffiness. Yeah, hoodies always make me feel so comfortable and cozy. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like, because you're kind of like wearing around a blanket. I think something more like baggy on the bottom and a little bit tight on the top, because I don't really have much of boobs or butt, so like, if I wear baggy on the bottom, it makes me look a little bit more like, I don't know, like, not curvy, but I like the geometrics of what I look like, because I like imbalanced things, and so if I'm like straight as a pin, like maybe I can do like tighter on the top and then like a bit more loose on the bottom, or the other way around. I think like nowadays it's like changing a lot more, because it's more like about diversity and like embracing your features. I don't look at like too many magazines, but I guess just like fashion models on like Instagram. I mean, like I feel like as of right now, like in a good way, it's like the media is more turning, because it's turning so like open-minded and diverse. Like it doesn't always have to be like about nudity or like showing skin. It's always like, because I follow like a lot of like strong, independent women on Instagram, and like they're always like, I don't know, you can be sexy without having to expose yourself, like sexy with clothes on, and sexy with clothes off. I think like high school was really like stressful for me, and about like just being so vain, because like we were put into situations where we have to be vain, like grad cruise or prom, like everyone's always talking about like, what do we wear, what do we want to look like, but like that was really stressful for me, because like I'm more of a person, like I like getting like nice pictures taken, but it's like those days are just all about that and just looking good, that like it put so much pressure on me, like to like think about what I have to wear, or like, oh, we all have to look the best, like, you know, things like that. In Korea sometimes, because I get hot really easily and cold really easily, so in the summer when I go, like I don't wear that much, but like it's very like, in Korea, like people always wear like something that's a little bit more covering and a little bit more how do you say, like conservative, I guess, like, so like because there's a lot of older people who are still conservative, so like if you dress like that on the trains or something, like they would say something to you, like even my dad like doesn't like it, because I'm his little girl, so like he doesn't like other people like staring, because people stare really like a lot. Yeah. Okay.